What if I told you that amidst the darkness and despair of Nazis' concentration camps, there existed a secret world of music, art, and resistance? A world where the human spirit fought back against unimaginable evil and found solace in the power of creativity and expression. We'll journey into the incredible story of Aleksander Kulisiewicz, the man who kept alive the music of the Nazis' concentration camp. Aleksander Kulisiewicz, a young and talented Polish singer and writer, was arrested by the Nazis after Germany invaded Poland in 1939. He was sent to Sachsenhausen concentration camp in May 1940, where he would spend the next 5 years of his life. It was in this hellish environment that Kulisiewicz discovered the power of music as a means of survival, escape, and resistance. As a teenager, Kulisiewicz had been a rebellious spirit, running away from his middle-class Catholic upbringing to perform in nightclubs. His talent and tenacity would serve him well in the concentration camp, where he quickly became a key figure in the hidden cultural life that thrived out of sight of the guards. Inmates wrote, composed, and performed as powerful acts of resistance, their art a beacon of hope in a world consumed by darkness. Thanks to his extraordinary memory, Kulisiewicz collected assorted poems and compositions from his fellow inmates. He also performed and wrote his own songs, such as Notturno 1941, which praises the Allied bombers flying overhead en route to Berlin. In another, he laments, but on the barbed wire, a sad, charred body droops. Through his music, Kulisiewicz gave voice to the pain, suffering, and indomitable spirit of those trapped in the concentration camp. The hierarchy of prisoners at Sachsenhausen was highly complex, with German prisoners, many of them convicts and communists, at the top, followed by fellow Aryans such as Dutch and Norwegians, and Eastern Europeans, and finally Jews and Russian POWs at the bottom. But within this rigid system, there was still room for maneuvering, and Kulisiewicz's resourcefulness and adaptability allowed him to stay alive through almost 5 years of incarceration. At Sachsenhausen, as at every camp, having something to barter was vital. Kulisiewicz's music became his currency, allowing him to trade songs for stamps or food rations. In one instance, he needed a tiny sum to buy a stamp and asked a Czech priest for help. The priest agreed, in exchange for Kulisiewicz's margarine ration. Through these small acts of barter and exchange, Kulisiewicz was able to navigate the brutal world of the concentration camp and maintain his will to live. In April 1945, as the Soviet army approached, the SS Guards evacuated over 30,000 prisoners from Sachsenhausen on a harrowing death march across Germany. Among those forced to embark on this brutal journey was Kulisiewicz. As they marched, many prisoners were unable to continue and were shot by the guards. Roland Tillot, a French prisoner who often accompanied Kulisiewicz on his accordion, was killed while trying to protect a fellow inmate who had collapsed from exhaustion. Miraculously, Kulisiewicz survived the death march and returned to his family in Poland. There, he contracted tuberculosis, and as he lay in his sickbed, he appeared delirious. However, a nurse soon realized that he was reciting lyrics and poems from his time in the concentration camp. Over 3 weeks, she typed out everything he dictated, including the haunting words of the Jüdischer Todessang, the song that had once been performed in secret by a choir of inmates at Sachsenhausen. From 1945 until his death in 1982, Kulisiewicz dedicated his life to building an archive of art, music, poetry, and theater from the concentration camps. His invaluable collection was initially met with indifference, as both Polish and American institutions turned it away. After a temporary spell at the Auschwitz Museum, the archive eventually found a home at the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C., where it stands today as a testament to the power of artistic creation, even in the face of death. The losses of the Nazis' genocide are immeasurable as 6 million lives, the Jewish communities that vanished, the synagogues reduced to ashes. But the story of Aleksander Kulisiewicz and his archive reminds us of the indomitable human spirit that survived through music and art even in the most horrific of circumstances. His life and work are a powerful reminder of the resilience and courage of those who endured the Holocaust and the vital importance of preserving their stories for future generations. So, what can we learn from Kulisiewicz's remarkable story? First and foremost, it's a testament to the power of art and creativity as a means of resistance and survival. In the darkest moments of human history, it was music, poetry, and storytelling that provided a lifeline for those trapped in the concentration camp. These expressions of the human spirit not only provided a temporary escape from the horrors surrounding the prisoners, but also served as an act of defiance against their captors. Moreover, Kulisiewicz's story teaches us about the importance of preserving the memory and history of the Holocaust. His tireless efforts to build an archive of art and music from the concentration camps ensured that the voices of those who suffered would not be silenced. Today, his collection stands as a powerful reminder of the resilience and courage of the human spirit in the face of unspeakable evil. Finally, the story of Aleksander Kulisiewicz is a lesson in the power of empathy and compassion. Despite his own suffering, he dedicated his life to ensuring that the stories and experiences of his fellow inmates would not be forgotten. In doing so, he created a lasting legacy of hope and resilience that continues to inspire and educate future generations. As we explore the life of the man who kept the music of the Nazis' camps alive against all odds, let us remember the lessons his story teaches us: the power of art and creativity as a means of resistance and survival, the importance of preserving the memory of the Holocaust, and the incredible resilience of the human spirit. By learning from Kulisiewicz's story, we can ensure that the voices of those who suffered are never silenced, and that their courage and determination continue to inspire us for generations to come.